right, REALMigos, we are back. It's Wednesday night. We got an impressive, amazing guy on tonight who's been killing it in his market, doing amazing things, helping people, which is the most important part, putting out great YouTube content, helping people just figure out if their budgets are right, doing some really cool things. Javier Vidania, welcome to the channel, man.
Thank you, man. I'm glad to bring some Hispanic flavor to this because you took our word amigos from us, but you have no Hispanics on there.
Yeah, man, we're appropriating the real.
Yeah, man, you stole our culture. What's up with that?
Yeah,
appropriating our culture.
Yeah, man. Well, we're glad to have you. We got a really good show tonight. If you haven't seen Javier's channel, man, I would recommend. Man, where am I at? Am I at the bar? Jeez, I'm not even drinking.
Man, what's up, bro?
If you haven't seen his channel or checked out his channel, I highly recommend doing it because he puts out some really good stuff. He's very helpful in what he does. He helps a lot of focuses on helping first-time home buyers a lot, breaks down who's buying in the market, with all the uncertainty going on and all these investors buying up properties. He's been looking into what's happening, who's buying what. So I'm really excited to have him on here. And then we have my man, Ian of Austin. Welcome. The Green Beret, well, not Green Beret, the Benevolent Beret. Welcome back, sir.
Hey, how's it going? I'm the other shade, just like Javier, right? I think this is a good mix. This is a good mix to have everybody on. I love this.
Yeah, and I turned down the color on my thing. I'm a little orange today, so.
Well, let's make him uncomfortable, Ian.
Yeah, that's a good thing. It's funny. I can never, like my Sony, I can never get the color right on this thing. But anyway, all right. So what's going on, everybody? Javier, welcome, man. I'm excited to have you. What's going on in Phoenix, Arizona?
Well, I actually recently was on Bloomberg talking about this. We're talking. I don't know if you guys saw. There's a news article about a week ago. Where this guy from Bloomberg was researching specifically one company called forgot the name of it. But there's just these investing corporations that are buying out and turning these a profit on these rental situations. So that's still happening, and it's happening at a much bigger pace now. These rental companies are still out here, and they're not purchasing 500K plus homes. They're purchasing all of the 350 to 450, all those like first time home buyer range kind of houses. And that's still happening at a high rate. There was normally our inventory is about 10 to 12,000 when it's healthy. When the year was ending around 2021, we were starting to get like 7 or 8,000. So there was some good news coming. And then, with demand dropping in the beginning of the year, like it usually does, we were hoping that it was going to start calming down. But what happened in January is it dropped down to 5,000. And we're like, okay, this is weird. It'll probably bounce back up. And then in February, it went down to 4,000. And now we're floating for 4,000 to 5,000. Think hopefully not 3,000. And whatever demand was supposed to drop did not. And now we have about $10,000 to $12,000 pending properties, 10 to 12,000 houses are pending, but there's only 4,000 to 5,000 active inventory. So whatever cool down was supposed to happen just completely went out the window, and it's still happening.
Yeah, we're running out in our MLS. So this, when you look at an MLS, anybody can put a property in an MLS, even though it's not there. But we're looking at about 1,800 units in our MLS, and like 33%, 35% of those are new construction that aren't even like ready to close. Like they're months out still.
Your MLS uses new construction. That's nice. Ours doesn't.
Put new construction in the MLS. Well, it's inventory homes, so it's stuff they've inventoried. So, but a lot of times they're saying, "Oh, this will be done in like July." I had a client that contracted on our property was supposed to be done. It was we walked it, and it was sheetrock, cabinets, everything, and we're still. It's not supposed to close the end of this month now, so it's 4-month delay. But man, it's crazy. All right, so. You did something pretty crazy as well. So you did the Bloomberg article. I saw that. And I think that's why I wanted to reach out to you and talk to you a little bit. You're not seeing any inventory in your market, but still no inventory. You're still fighting investors. Yet what are you doing in your life? Do you want to give out that news? I think you talked about
it. Yeah, sure.
I
made a video like 2 months ago where I told people why I'm still buying a house. You know, like, and I said, despite interest rates going up, despite what people are saying about the market, I'm still buying. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Like, I'm doing it. And a lot of people didn't really believe me. A lot of people are like, okay, he's a realtor. Of course he's saying that. And then I recently just released one yesterday, or was it 2 days ago? Where, you know, I just said, hey, we bought a house. So, and I'm showing people the process, like I'm actually doing it. So we had to put our house for sale, and we had to do this crazy situation where we put our house in the market before we had the offer accepted on our house, on the house we were buying. They weren't taking us seriously at all. We got the house repaired. We listed it. We had offers. And then when we got the offers, we were hoping that there's no offers that came in on the house we were looking at. They didn't. We then presented our offer now saying, hey, look at us. We have 4 offers now. Accept our offer, and then we'll accept one of these offers. And they did that. So we basically forced our hand, and we got them to accept our offer. And I felt like a little bit of a hypocrite because it was a cash buyer that came in, but we made sure to vet him. It wasn't an investor. It was someone who, you know, wants to live in the area, and they just got an inheritance. So you're like, you know what? It gave my family more security, and it's going to someone who's going to live there. So I'm happy. So
awesome.
Yeah, but we were very fortunate.
You know, one thing I hear a lot too is that people that are buying homes right now are cash buyers. So going to the buyer that is buying your home, are you still seeing a lot of cash buyer heavy buyers in your market? Like, do you know what the percentage of that is that's buying in your market?
Last I checked, it was 35. I can check again real quick.
35%.
Mm-hmm. Let me just do a quick check. Closed property. Go ahead.
Ian, when we looked up last time, it was around what? Was it 23%, 22% were cash?
It was lower than 30.
Yeah, it was definitely lower than 30.
So 3,302 houses have sold cash.
Jesus.
And we've had total amount of closings the last 35 days. Oops. 10,248.
So you're looking at
about
30% still.
32%.
Yeah. Jeez, that's crazy. I'd have to look up bars. It'll take a minute, but I think last I looked, it was around like 22% ish. But that's crazy. So, you know, what they're saying is true. I mean, a third of people buying are still buying cash right now. And so that, you know, that always makes me look at this and go, okay, well, you know, these cash buyers are still paying over list price, right? I mean, were you in a multiple offer on yours?
Multiple offer.
Yeah.
High as 30,000 over, but cash came in just slightly below the one that was over. And they gave us a 60-day post possession for free, like no cost, nothing. So it's like, it just makes sense for my family. Like it's just what makes sense, and no finance offer can compete with that. But yeah.
So I guess the question then is, if people are looking at this market and going, okay, the market's going to crash, it's got to slow down. The prices are too high, interest rates are too high. But in Phoenix, 32% of the people are buying with cash. The other, what is that? 58%, 68%. Did I do my math right? Yeah, 68% are doing finance deals, and they're not doing ARMs or anything adjustable. I mean, what are you guys thinking that's going to be happening in this market?
What do you think, Ian?
All right, I was pulling up our cash. We have 593 single family that closed cash in the last 30 days of 4,111.
Yeah, so it's
you only have 4,011 in the last 30 days?
In the last 30 days that are single family. I removed condos. I removed all that.
You guys have a lot of those?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I thought Austin was bigger.
I guarantee the number is not much higher. If 4,000 closing, if you add condos, that's probably only another like 400 or 500 sales. It's not as much as you think it is.
So Austin is just a big.
So it is. It's exactly city. 500 sales.
Yeah, Phoenix is weird. Where it's like, how much is it? Oh, he was right.
If I added condos, it's exactly 500 more.
Man, he knows me. I don't care what they say about you. You know what you're talking about.
He knows what he's talking about. Yeah. Who's they in that scenario?
Yeah. Forums. Yeah. All the forums out there.
Those people that are just using false data to say the market's crashing, right?
All right. What was the question?
Hey, man, that was me 3 years ago. Leave me alone.
But you And we had you on the channel, not too long ago, and we talked about that as well. I think after a while you looked at the data and you said, you know what I'm saying doesn't make sense. Forgive me if I misquoted that, but when you do a channel for a year and a half and all you're talking about for a year and a half and you're using really bad data to back up your point, like that's totally different, right? I mean, you maybe did it for what, 2 months, 3 months, and you're like, wait a second, this isn't working. This isn't right.
Yeah,
Am I wrong?
That's the thing is, and then especially when their main business is consulting investors, and their home buyers are getting scared from buying because of these videos. Well, the investors are still buying, and he's still consulting investors on where to buy. So they're just turning you into renters, and we're being okay with it. I mean, I'm not a conspiracy minded guy at all. It's facts. There is a big push to turn the American public into renters, and there's a lot of these profit corporations turning into renters. It's people need to wake up. Okay, you're scared of the market crashing. I don't care if the market crashes because I'm going to own my house and I'm going to be able to afford it. If the market crashes, that means I won't be able to sell in 3 years and make a lot of money. Boo hoo! But I refuse to be a tenant. I refuse to be at the mercy of someone raising the rents on me.
I think we saw this back when everyone dropped off of cable. It sounds weird, right? But that type of thing has been hitting every industry, right? Where they go from you own this and you own your own modem, you have to stream everything. You have insurance plans, you have software that you buy, software as a service, instead of the traditional methods. So everything is becoming subscription based. Windows on your computers, subscription based. Office, subscription based. So I figured eventually it's going to hit real estate. Real estate takes forever. It's an older medium, older platform.
That brings up a question that I have for you too, because a lot of people. So you're in the Phoenix market. So that and the comment asking where you were at. I lived in Phoenix for 8 years. I love Phoenix, miss Phoenix. But you have a lot of people leaving California. I mean, there is a decent migration of people moving from California, but another one, Seattle. Seattle's hemorrhaging people as well. Chicago, Illinois, they're hemorrhaging people. New York's hemorrhaging people. What are people driving? What's driving people to the Phoenix market? Is it jobs? Is it work from home? Like, what is the drive to Phoenix now?
This 6 months has been other friends and family members that successfully did it. And originally it was something else. Originally it was, houses are so cheap. And at first I remember we blamed the Californians for everything happening, but it really wasn't them. They were part of it, but not the whole problem. But with the last 6 months, everyone that I've had that was out of state was, so-and-so moved here and they're happy. So now I'm moving here. Very few times is, I have a job transfer, or I have this, I have that. No, or, I can afford a house. No, it's most of the time it's so-and-so was the first one to come out here. They're happy. And now I have the confidence to do it. And it's an interesting point is that they're hemorrhaging people, but are they hemorrhaging homeowners or are they hemorrhaging renters? And they're hemorrhaging these renters that were sick of renting that want to become homeowners. And now they're coming up here to different states, and housing is getting more expensive. And what that's creating is it's creating more renters in these cities like Phoenix and Austin. And now they're going to have to go to another city. So, I mean, there's enough land in the country for people to go to. I think California was just overpopulated, and now, it's really sad for the people. Like, you used to be able to buy a house for $250 to $300 here. Now you can't. Now you have to pay at least $350 to $400, which is sad for most people who have a decent job. It's only the one person in the family that works can no longer afford a house here. They have to move out elsewhere.
So I have 2 questions on that. Then I lived in Phoenix, and the traffic always sucked. It always was terrible. So is the traffic getting worse is one question. 2, do you think there's a time that this migration of people will stop moving to Phoenix? They'll stop moving to Austin. They'll stop migrating out.
Traffic got a lot better when, I don't know, what part of town did you live in?
I lived in Tempe.
Yeah. So remember where Levine is?
Yeah.
So they built a freeway connecting Levine to Chandler. behind the mountain.
Okay.
That helped a lot, and they're still building a lot of. They're making freeways bigger. They're creating these other freeways that connect it, like these really populated areas. So it's getting better. But I'm smart about when I drive and where I drive, so I always avoid it. So I don't really see it that often.
So the other question then was, when do you see this migration of people leaving from Austin to Austin and Phoenix?
When will I lose weight? When will I stop eating tacos? Man, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, as long as people are sick of living where they are and paying so much and renting, they're going to move to different places. There's the grass is greener on the other side. That's just part of the human existence. So as long as that idea stays and people can still afford it, they're going to continue to do it.
One thing that I think, everybody's seeing the gas prices going up, the stuff that's going on in Ukraine, and just the world being kind of shaky as it is. And one thing, and this is a good question Matt put up here, was about energy prices going up. I've heard so many people say, oh, go buy a Tesla, go buy a Tesla. And I'm like, I own a Tesla, and I realized that you can't just, my car has to get charged from somewhere. Where does that energy come from? So, but the cost of everything is going up, right? We're seeing the cost of everything going up. I have a prediction that we will not see a slowdown in moving to Austin, moving to Phoenix, and all these, San Antonio, these, I guess, more affordable than California places. Because when I left California, they just raised the income tax from, I think, 9 to 11%. And this was 2013. Gas prices were like $4 a gallon back then. And I could not continue to afford to pay $4 a gallon. I guarantee you a lot of people in California are starting to get frustrated. They're being taxed for everything. And now they have another tax, which is just gas prices being close to $7 in some areas. So do you think a lot of people will start continuing to make that move to Austin and, other areas because the gas prices and the energy costs are getting so much higher?
It's a great point. I also have a Tesla, and
a Tesla Amigos. I love it.
But here's a problem: is my windshield cracked.
Mine did too.
$1,300 to replace the freaking windshield.
Do you have Tesla insurance?
I don't. I have regular insurance, but I don't have Tesla insurance. But I have to pay the deductible of $600. But still, it still sucks. It's like usually a car replacement is like $200, $300.
Here's the thing: I have a buddy who has a 2021 Chevy Silverado. It was $1,000 for him. It's just more.
Yeah, maybe
for everything.
I was shocked, and my wife was making fun of me. She's like, "Oh, well, you want a luxury car? You got to afford luxury repairs." So I'm like, "Oh, shoot, okay."
It's just a newer car. All cars are going through that newer.
To answer your question, though, I think people that already have tight finances are going to get even tighter with the gas prices going up. I think what people do, and that's what I personally know this from personal experience, is we're looking for an excuse to do something when we made up our mind already. Like when it finally pulls a Tesla. Oh, people that have been itching for a Tesla, they're going to use this as an excuse. It's not like, oh, I bought a Tesla for this. No, you already made up your mind, but you don't have this is amigos, right? So the cojones, they just say, I'm going to do this. No, I'm going to convince my wife to not let me get one because of this. So if people are like, this might be the excuse they need to say, you know what, let's explore options of moving out of this state or this city. So I can see that being they're probably going to make market crash videos if they haven't already about this stuff. I don't think it's going to cause a huge shift, but it's going to convince a few people, I believe, out there. As I'm sure some people in the chat might be already,
Yeah.
You got some Dinosaur D saying there's a war coming. Holy shit.
This guy.
So I want to wars electricity. Oh shit.
I want to revisit those numbers. I was taking some time to just make sure I had some accurate numbers. So today we're at 22% cash.
Okay.
Unfiltered Austin market. So Austin MLS. Okay. 5 years ago, which was a question in the comments, it was 18%. It hasn't changed much. I'm surprised.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
This is surprising to me.
5 years ago was what, 18?
18%, and today it's 22%. So it's only slightly higher.
I'm sorry, it was 2018. Just trying to think of how many investors I helped in 18.
You said 5 years ago?
5 years ago.
In this month time frame?
Correct.
Okay, so like February 9th to March 9th.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me look up that.
That's actually a good point. Ian, like as far as Austin goes, while he's looking that up, as far as Austin goes, what are your anticipations? I mean, do you think this, all of this uncertainty is going to drive people to the suburbs of Austin more with, gas prices being higher and stuff like that, energy costs going up, food costs going up?
There are two articles that came out that are pretty interesting. One of them is some world population review. It's not even about the location it came from. It's about the data. So Texas is still in 2022 the number one highest oil production.
Yeah,
I thought that was interesting, right? And Austin, there are a lot of companies, 300 or so companies that are heavily invested in the oil industry. So I think that's one of those, like we've heard all this tech lately, but oil is still substantially stronger in Austin than most other places in the United States. So that was one great thing. And then I saw another one that talks about five affordable homes for first-time buyers. Guess where they are? Give me these suburbs. Affordable homes near Austin.
In Austin?
Uh-huh.
Oh God. It's going to be Seguin, Elgin, Gerald.
Yep.
And
Gerald.
Probably Bastrop.
No, Bastrop is no longer on the list.
Really?
So the next one is Lockhart.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
And then I don't know why they have Manor on here, but they have Manor on here.
Manor's definitely not cheap anymore.
No.
It was so funny. I just saw an article talking about how Tesla employees love Whisper Valley. Is it Whisper Valley? Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not Manor, right?
Well, it technically is Manor. Yeah,
it is.
But it's not Manor's property taxes.
Right.
It's like,
right.
It's like 1.87 or something like that. But yeah, and so I read this article. I'm like, yeah, Jeremy Knight said that like 2 years ago. And he put a whole video out about talking about that neighborhood 2 years ago.
I was telling people the same thing. I'm like, you should check this place out. It's pretty reasonable. It's a little more than some of the other suburbs, but it is reasonable for what I think it's going to be because of how it was built. Net zero, you have your community gardens, all that sort of stuff. I thought it was an incredible investment opportunity. And look, like you said, it absolutely would have been. Now it's like $700 for a 1,200 square foot house.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
price out there. Well, I mean, you look at that neighborhood and then you look at, I know one of those builders, don't say who it is because I'm not a big fan. They're building the Tesla roofs over there in Easton Park. Yep. And not a fan of the builder at all. I'm sorry. I'm just not. Anyway, they houses over there for Tesla roof house, like starting like $850 in a neighborhood that's 3.04% tax rate.
And it's
so you're talking like starting.
I don't think people understand that. That's crazy. And that's the same neighborhood that just announced 20,000 more homes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if they're starting now at 800, 850,
yeah, where do they go?
What do we think they're going to be at in 5 years, 10 years?
I mean, you might as well just move to Treviso.
You might as well. You might as well just move there. Oh my God! Unless you would be closer to Tesla. I'll give them that. Yeah, I like the layout of the neighborhood. I really do, and I like some of the builders in the neighborhood a lot. And I understand the tax rate because they have to pay for all these amenities. It's just how aggressively the prices are rising. If you don't get in, you're going to be bent over. You're going to get hurt.
Damn, calm down, man.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you got to say it in Spanish though when you say it like that.
Yeah, you
calmate.
There you go.
This is the REALMigos show.
Yeah.
So interesting fact. It's very similar. It's 29% in 2015, which is not 5, it's 7 years ago, but it was 29%. But it just looks more impressive now because 7 years ago it was 1831 out of 6257. but now it's 3302 out of 10,248. But the actual percentage is very similar, 29% versus now 32%.
Yeah. Well, and
so technically there are more cash buyers because the amount of sales is lower.
Yes, but
okay.
the other buyers are also increasing their numbers, so the ratio is still the same. But as usual, the cash buyers are what gets the clicks and the excitement, so people focus on that.
Man, that's a good video for one of us to make here, that cash buyers aren't necessarily running the market if you look at the actual data. There you go. Jaden, there you go. Make sure you put this clip out there.
Well, I think it's important because I think we have a skew for, at least here, for how much of that is new builds and versus what it was 5 years ago. And didn't segregate that data, but that's interesting. Javier, you have a lot of new builds where you are, right?
Not really. We can't keep up with them. They should have more, but they don't.
They should have more. So are your communities like putting those on hold, like slowing them down, the new builds?
They sell out so quick and they're only building them out so few at a time. We had a big boom of new builds like in the 2000s, right? Yep. So that's when all the land got taken up. And we have a lot of 2000 to 2012 houses, but like the 2020s are there. There's not that much space to build on. They're not building it at that much of a higher rate.
I mean, that's one thing, my wife and I are talking about this, and, Javier kind of chatted before, you just talked about you're buying a house. We're in the process of potentially moving from where we are now. We're looking at buying homes. But what's crazy is I look at new construction. If typically where I would go and what I did before is I bought a new construction, built it out it took a year or whatever, and then I moved up. It's so hard for even me to buy a new build right now. So I'm having to look at resale. And, it was crazy about resales. We looked at a house that was well priced. Actually, it was higher than what we thought it was. Like, we're like, this is priced really high, but we'll take a look at it tomorrow. Went to go schedule a showing. And on Saturday, they already accepted an offer over list price. I'm talking about it on my Tuesday's video that comes out next week. But it blew my mind that homes in this price point still move this fast. I mean, we help people in the mid-million price point, right between 1.5 and 2. But it just blew my mind that they would take an offer that quickly, like a day on market, and they already took their offer. And I just don't see it. The biggest problem is that everybody talks about how much homes are being built. They don't talk about the delays, and the delays are really pushing. I mean, everything. I have a client that was supposed to close in this coming May. We put a contract, I think, in November or December, and they're like, yeah, it'll be done in May. We're not closing till next December now, or this coming December. Like, it just blows my mind. The supply chains, and I just don't see the supply chains getting better right now. I mean, everybody says, oh, they're going to get better. Gas prices are going to come down. But how long does that take?
And I don't know that people understand this, but builders write into their contract, at least the majority of production builders write into their contract that they have up to 2 years. That's really important, right? And I'm doing a custom build, and it's the same thing. They used a track form, but they wrote the same clause in there that they want to have at least 2 years time. So if you're buying a house and they're telling you 6 to 9 months, be ready just in case, because they can do that. They can increase it to up to 2 years. And in many cases now, they can also leverage an escalation clause and raise the price. Almost all the builders are sneaking it in.
Yep. Yeah, you have to be very careful of that escalation clause. Are you guys seeing that too, Javier, with escalation clauses?
I find them so weak, so passive.
What does that mean, weak?
Like, if I buy my buyers, sometimes they watch, those not the REALMigos. They watch the NAMigo. You know what NAMigos is? NAMigos?
No.
NAMigo is like a rival. There's Amigo and there's NAMigo. So those other NA.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Right? Those other people that talk to him about these escalation clauses, and I just tell them, listen, just go with your best offer. Don't play these games and be like escalation clause. I'll pay this, but I'll maybe pay this high if someone else does. Oh shucks, no. Like going with your best. Don't play games with the seller. Very few times does it work, but most of the times I beat escalation clauses that go higher than my offer. Just because I do a good job of just calling the seller and the listing agent, just when this is our situation and we're not playing games with you. This is our best offer. We're strong, ready to go. We're not going to say, oh, shucks, it's worth more if someone else does, because it's not going to appraise.
We have different. So we don't do those types of escalation clauses in Texas. What we're referring to is the builders will have a price that they're contracted with. And then somewhere along the way, usually up to 2 times, they can increase the sales price.
Oh gosh, that's terrible.
Don't tell
the
what I'm talking about.
That. No, hell no.
Yeah,
no, that's the best thing about a new build is that you get to lock in the price and make a bunch of money.
They stopped doing it. They were like, hold up.
Oh my!
It's going to cost. And so halfway through, I had a guy. He's supposed to be closing in. It was within a month, and they hit him with an escalation clause of $32,000.
And you can't say no.
And you can't say no, because here's the thing:
you can. He can back out. The house.
He can back out, but he's already up, $100,000 in equity based on the original sales price. So he might lose $30,000, but he's going to gain $70,000 artificially, right?
That is terrible. That's
if he sells it. If he sells it, he'll gain it.
That's the worst.
What's wrong with you guys?
Us guys, that's Texas, man.
Well, no, that's not Texas. It's a builder.
You know what it is? Builders aren't regulated in Texas. I don't know if people know that either. It costs $50 in a permit to get to be a builder. General contractors aren't licensed, all sorts of things. So they can get away with murder here. Well, Jaden, clip that for us.
But yeah, you guys can't legalize marijuana, but
but we can take we can raise property taxes on people. 1.2 million in Liberty Hill, the Bonnet. Jane, it's funny, Janie on my team's watching. She just texted me. Yeah, so reach out, Charles. We'll help you out, even though you didn't buy with us, Charles. I'm just kidding.
You had to. You have to look out for your own business before answering other people's questions, huh?
Yeah. Sometimes.
So selfish.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Are you giving that to Ian? No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Are you a realtor, Ian, or you're a lender?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
Oh, it says realtor.
Yeah.
Real.
Jeremy and I, we just see eye to eye, and we do a lot of stuff together. That's kind of how it works.
Yes.
Janie says
you guys have a bromance.
We do have a bromance.
We do have a bromance
last week. Yeah.
So
my bromance defeats your bromance. Like you guys have nothing in my bromance.
Who's your bromance?
I don't even have to say who my bromance is. People in the chat know who it is.
Oh, okay.
Who is it?
Me?
No, it's not. I haven't talked to you.
No, it's not me. Amigo.
Me and Kyle Seagraves, man.
I honestly don't know who Kyle Seagraves is.
Win the house you love.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, because when I looked at your channel, it was like when I went to go pull up your channel, it was you, your second channel, and then Kyle. And
yeah,
I was like, okay, that makes sense.
He's my moon sister, my moon brother. He's everything, man. we traveled to city. We went to Dallas like a few months ago. He's gone. I haven't gone to his town, but yeah, no, he's we met on YouTube like a year ago, and we just became like best friends. This is crazy.
Where's he at?
He's in Ohio.
Ohio in the Midwest.
Yeah. But he's a lender though.
That's cool. That's a great relationship to have. I don't know that people realize that when you have a lender relationship as a realtor, someone you can trust.
Oh yeah, we never talk about that though. I love him because we can actually, if I complain about something about happening with like a viewer or YouTube, he understands because if you go complain about someone that's barely starting out or something, they'll be like, "You're so ungrateful." But he has very similar. He has like 115 subs, I think. So 115K. So we're on the same. Yeah, I love him. I like it. But anyways, we should have a bromance. We should have like those dating those honeymoon games where they ask questions about the other person. See if I bet we would beat you.
So you want to hear funny? So Ian and I got my Tesla Model Y, and then Ian got his Tesla Model Y.
Which model? Which series or performance or the other ones?
Oh no, just the standard with the long range. I mean, I might
Why are
be
you
performance.
shaking your head, man? I'm pulling campers over here.
Look at this.
I got.
I think I can show you guys. See that?
Look. This is why I bought a Model Y.
That's a Y with performance.
Look, because I have this on pre-order. That's why I bought them. So as soon as that's available, I'm plopping it down. I'm ready.
Boo.
I'll pull up.
I live in Texas. I need a truck.
911. I'll pull up with my 911. We'll see who's faster.
I will probably still be faster. I'm just saying. Now they have quad motors. Yeah.
Do you want that truck so you can put a nice pole with the flag in the back? Never mind.
I can't do that. I don't know that works.
There's a lot of them. You know what the
I'm not flying anything. I'm just, it's gonna be matte black too. It's gonna be
a white flag.
I just feel like behind the green screen, Jeremy and I has a few red hats, if you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he has a green screen to hide his red hat collection.
No. Not in this house. But then Ian got a golden doodle after I got a golden doodle.
That too, so golden doodle.
But he one upped me. Now he's got 2 golden doodles.
Look, I didn't get anything. My wife was like, I need this dog, and because I'm allergic to dogs, she wanted a golden doodle. I was like, at least you're halfway considerate. You don't want a dog. She's like, I'll at least get one that won't kill you.
Oh yeah, sorry. We have questions.
Ian's talking about his Teslas. He doesn't stop, man. Just stop. We get it. You have a Tesla. You're cool.
Yeah, you're the one that talked about it.
Remember the old South Park when they drove the Tesla or whatever, and there's a cloud of smog that followed the cars.
I didn't see it. Now I gotta look that up.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's a good one.
There was a Realtor one recently too.
I watched that. One of my clients asked me that you had to watch it.
Yeah.
I texted him. I was like, dude, I just got new headshots too. And he's like, really? I'm like, no.
I think that's what's so great. We can laugh at it. We can laugh at all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's because it's true. I mean, all right, if you're a realtor that's watching this and you're on Instagram and you do this, it just drives me crazy. It's not my thing. You do it. You do you be you. But those agents that do like all these like lifestyle photos and then they post them on Instagram like, oh, you should learn to stage your home. And they're like all like dressed like super, super nice in front of like a fireplace. I'm like, that's just not my style. But good for you, but it's just not my style. I can't.
I use my cartoon head everywhere. If I'm speaking or if I'm doing it's on LinkedIn or anything, I don't care. I use my cartoon just because it's, like you said, people will take their pictures, their lifestyle photos. They don't look like that. They don't live like that.
Yeah. You don't look like you're a cartoon anymore. You're getting a little older there, Ian. So you're going to have to update your cartoon.
You know what it is? It's the light.
Yeah, it's the light. So this is a good question by Jensen is if somebody says to you, hey, I'm ready to sell, what now? Where do I go? Are you seeing a lot of these leasebacks? I am. I see a lot. I see like almost every deal, especially when we put in the MLS, we say, hey, they need a 30, just like Javier did. You need a lease back of X amount, and we're mostly getting them for free. So you're going to stay in your house for free for a month, 2 months maybe, depending on the deal. Are you seeing a lot of those too?
Yeah, almost every time. And then so what I would tell a seller is it's still going to be very difficult. So people, it's stressful to do a contingency. Holy crap, man.
I feel like if you're a seller and you need time, this is the perfect opportunity for you to ask for a lease back because right now, again, buyers want to have a leg up on other buyers. And that's a great example. They'll give you everything.
What the hell does smug mean?
Smug? I don't know. Master Jedi likes to get people smug. Unlike Reventure, who's I don't know.
Who's not having or excessive pride in oneself, but Reventure, I think that's an insult on me, not Reventure.
Yeah, it's on Reventure. He is. So I keep forgetting to bring it up to my office, but downstairs, this guy made me it's the same steel that's going to be made with the Cybertruck, but it's a Cybertruck. And I have said on this channel that once I get my Cybertruck, I'm going to wrap it in the Texas flag and put my logo on it. And he literally made me a bottle opener that has that on it. It's amazing. So back to your point, Javier, while I don't have any flags in the back of my truck, I will definitely wrap it in the Texas flag.
Let's
Show my Texas pride.
There it is.
There you go.
What is that?
It's a whistle.
Did he give you a whistle when you order it?
No, I was silly and I paid way too much for it, like houses in Austin. That's what I did.
Yeah,
It's
my
not way
style
too
is
much
more to
because
jump
it's
into pools.
my value, my perceived value. And it's rare. It's like the Tesla tequila bottles. Can you get one of those?
Has anybody ever had that? I want to try the tequila. I want to see if it's any good. I haven't been able to buy
open it because it's too expensive.
I'll drink any tequila.
That's right. I will too, pretty much. Well, not the one with the worm in it. I stay away from the worm. Bad day afterwards. How about Hudson Bend area off Lake Travis? Hudson Bend area off Lake Travis.
What's the
Oh, yeah.
Like what? Like, are you looking for price points? Are you looking for timeline? Are you looking for tax rate? What are you looking for?
Yeah, what are you looking for? I mean, anywhere off Lake Travis is pretty.
Yeah,
nice.
I mean, obviously, that's the biggest lake, Central Texas, or the most popular one. So if you can get around there, that's great.
Well, and at Lago Vista, I mean, I haven't really been like too on Lago Vista, but I saw some houses out there looking for a client trying to buy an Airbnb, and I was like, holy crap, it's nice out here.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, except if you have to drive to work. It like downtown, that's the worst. Yeah. Otherwise, it's gorgeous.
So I got a question for you, Javier. You were talking about this before we got on. So on your channel, you are doing a calculator. Walk us through what's this calculator thing that you're doing, because I find this pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I just basically these are tools that I've used with my clients for consultations. The common thing that I walk them through is their timeline, right? Like, okay, watch that whole ad. Yeah, I'm smug apparently, so I want you to watch the whole ad.
Yeah, here you go. As we continue.
Yes. So go ahead and click that ad too. And I'm just kidding. So I with my clients, the timeline, right? I walk through their timeline and I have to usually write it out for them. And then, for their, for their budget, like I walk them through, okay, this is what you qualify for. This is what you can afford. So I just basically plugged them in Excel in a Google sheet and I just made it and I made it look nice. I looked up some courses of how to make decent sheets and whatnot. And I just made them and I've been using it with my consultations now for the past month or two. And I used it for one of these videos. And then I was like, if you guys want to just email me. And I had like 100 emails and I was like, oh crap, maybe I should make this into something. So I have it as either you can download it for free or you can pay $3 or $5 and you get an extra little video, but it's just to help me basically. You don't, some people download the first one free and the second one they might give $3 or whatever. And that's being, it's working. People love it's very basic. You can get it anywhere. That's why it's for free because there's nothing fancy about it. I don't lie about it. It's like, very simple. But if people want to like the way I presented it and it helps them, then I give it to them.
That's awesome.
Here's the real question I have about that. Do you include utilities?
For their budget, yes.
Nice. That's good.
So
that's good.
So I give them two. I mean, yes, you can put in your credits. You can figure out what you qualify for. But then I also have some sections where you can write down your current budget. So it gives you like charts and everything of what your budget looks like.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Let's see. Let's look at Jeremy's recommendations. You got Jeb Smith. We got.
Well, this is like on my throwaway channel. So it's when I like want to see who's posting ads on my channel.
Oh, look there's one in the house you love right there. See, you know who he is.
Yeah, of course.
Old video. Social Security. Hola Franco.
Well, this and that too. If I want to see like what other realtors are stealing my content on in Austin. I'm just kidding. But seriously. It's funny. I just gave a talk with agents in Austin about YouTube, and I was like, yeah, and since you all steal my content anyway, here's what I'm doing tomorrow. Oh man. All right. So Javier's gone. He's
that was very smug of you.
He's getting tequila. Don't sleep on Temple Bolton. Some people are moving that. Yeah, I mean, I did a video that came out Tuesday talking about areas south. Don't worry. I've made movie. I made a video talking about where people are moving north, and so many people were like, "Oh, you're not talking about north areas." I'm like, I've done a whole video about where people are moving north, so relax. It's there. You can find it. I've got 297,000 videos, but yeah, Temple, Bolton, definitely good spots to be, especially if you're trying not to spend 1.2 million and live in Biscaya. Right, Dinosaur D?
The thing with Temple and Belton is they are actually outside of our jurisdiction. They're great. They're growing rapidly. There's no doubt about that. But because they're outside of our jurisdiction, we have, what's that term? Something to do with education. Like we don't have the ability to speak on those with expert level knowledge. Right. So, but they are growing, and we can look at the numbers, but I mean, unless you're driving out to Temple every day, which I'm not, because it's more than an hour away. That's why we don't talk about them as much.
Yeah. It's like asking about stuff in Tucson for Javier.
They've got good meth there.
What was that? You sold houses there?
They've got some good meth out in Tucson.
Oh man, go back to my good ASU U of A days, man. That was fun stuff.
So it wasn't. You? Let me guess. You went to ASU, right?
I sure did.
Yeah, you have that look.
Yeah. Yeah. And you went to U of A. You have that look too. So
no, I didn't go to college.
Oh.
So
I have that frat kid on frat row look. Is that what you're saying?
No, you look like you went to ASU.
Yeah.
I can see you with an ASU, the dark maroon hoodie, with them khaki shorts with a hat.
Yeah. So I had a skateboard. So I had to park in lot 59, and then you have to take a bus. And then, I wanted to get fit every day and look good, in my fraternity. I was not in a fraternity, just kidding. But I'd skate to class every day. So everybody thought I was some skater kid. No, they didn't have scooters. I don't want to look weird riding a scooter across campus. So it's a skateboard it was. It's all my geography classes.
I can find an old picture of you.
Does Peacemaker build a good quality home for your experience? I'm a subscriber. I enjoy the content. I haven't worked with.
I think they're talking about Pacesetter.
Pacesetter. Yeah, not Peacemaker. Yeah, Pacemaker. Pacemaker would be a good name for any builder right now because they're building at a pacemaker so slow. Pacesetter, it just depends on what neighborhood too. You got to look at the tax rate in the neighborhood. But I've seen some Pacesetter make some nice homes, but I've seen Pacesetter also make some like really cheaply built homes. And when I say that, I mean like they have like concrete flooring. Everything's like the very bare minimum to pass inspection. So,
dude, I did a TikTok 2 days ago. It's at like 300 and something thousand views, and all I did was go through and show things that were wrong with the new construction.
Oh God,
I know
that was a good one.
I'm not saying it was Pacesetter though. I'm just saying.
Okay,
good. People love that stuff because it's real.
Yeah.
It's a real concern right now.
Do you have a lot of experience with meth in Tucson, Javier?
No, not at all. I've never been to Tucson, but I say that. It's a joke.
Did you ever leave Phoenix? Like what? You've never been to Tucson?
No, man. Why would I go down there? I don't need meth.
That's like us in Houston, though.
It's true.
No, I'm just kidding. I just never gone down there.
I'm forced to go to Houston in a couple weeks for an event with Katie Day. Yep, Katie Day. She's forcing me to go. She said I have to. But
I don't know who that is. Hey, Gachos. Are you GCC Master Jedi?
Grand Canyon?
No, that's Glendale Community College. I went there.
He just Googled it. That's all.
No, I went there for a semester, but they kicked me out. Sorry for another day.
You see that the SWAT raided 170 pounds of meth in Austin.
Yeah, we got a good growth distribution channel, I think, here in Austin as well. It's just a distribution channel.
I mean,
we don't grow it.
It's central
I don't know.
Texas,
No idea.
right?
Yeah, we're central. Yeah,
we're like the Panama of Texas.
Yeah,
Panama Canal of Texas. It's great.
Yeah, it's got to come through here pretty much. That here, Houston,
35.
14
It's on 35. That's the best part. I-35.
14 months on my house being built in Sunfield with Castle Rock and still no finish date. Big Moose, I'm so sorry.
Well, they still have 6 more months before they'll get in
But
trouble.
what happens when it happens and they go, oh, sorry, you're gonna have to close this home. That's good, but we don't have any we don't have a microwave or an oven or a dishwasher for you, but you can move into it still. Just sign this little waiver, right?
I've seen that.
I mean, you've seen that. I've seen it.
The microwave just sitting on a shelf instead of like mounted like it's supposed to be.
Oh my God.
It's like, I mean, you can close or we can give you the earnest money back and sell it to someone else for 50,000. What do you want to do?
Yeah. Are you still seeing in Phoenix? Are you seeing a lot of delays in new builds?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's typically the reason why they're being delayed?
They always say labor.
Mm-hmm.
They always say, oh, our guys, we have a new roofing company, or we have a new this, or they didn't show up to work today. They haven't showed up the last week or two. Yeah, those I know the freaking superintendents get all the flack, but I can't imagine doing that right now. They must be so stressed because according to them, nobody wants to work. So they're having those issues. Material too, and I actually haven't seen too much material stuff, but we're getting a lot of I'll have buyers being very vigilant. They go drive by their houses a lot because I make sure nothing. I had a house once where someone peed on the corner, stuff like that. So peed in the drywall, and then they left it soaking. And if my clients wouldn't have caught it, it would have just soaked in their house. So, but yeah.
Didn't you make a video on that? I thought you made a video on that.
I think so. Yeah. I think so. But yeah. Have y'all given any thoughts on interest rate loans? Yeah, they're coming out in the forms of first and seconds for higher price houses. Not interest only, but they get a second loan, a second that's only interest only. Have you seen those?
Mm-mm.
I'm seeing a few of those. Instead of doing jumbo products, people are doing first and seconds, where they'll do much reduced down payment, and they'll basically take a HELOC for the second portion of the loan, and it'll be interest only for like 5 or 10 years.
I'm trying to think of how much different that is from an ARM. An ARM would just
ARM goes up or down depending on the.
Yeah,
this one doesn't.
So it stays the same, but the first few years you're paying more
after 5 or
interest
10 years, then it turns into a 20-year mortgage.
Yeah, I think the question is it better than rent? Right? At the end of the day, you're assuming that the equity is going to continue to rise, but you're not paying down any principal. It's an option.
Make extra payments for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's tough because, let's say you buy a home for $500,000. Let's say the market corrects and that house is worth $450,000, but you've been paying for 5 years on just the interest.
Mm-hmm.
You really didn't gain any equity. Or let's say it stays the same. Let's say you bought a house for $500,000, you put 20%, you would have put 20% down or 5%, whatever it was. So you had a little bit of equity, but now you really built no equity. When you go to sell that, it's kind of all out of your pocket, right?
Which is no different from rent. That's why I'm saying there was just an article last week where they said right now rent is higher than owning in Austin. I'm sorry, owning. Yeah, rent is higher than owning. So if you're getting a better deal than you would if you were renting something, it's a wash either way.
But what's interesting, if you're paying interest only, can't you deduct pretty much your entire mortgage payment for the entire year then if it's interest? Because you can deduct your interest rate, right?
The second is not for the whole amount. So let's say it's $1 million house. It's $100,000 down, $100,000 second, right? No. $600,000 for your first, and the $200,000 is basically, or is it 300? 600, 300, yeah. So like $300,000 is a second. So that's interest only. So that is the one that you're basically writing off. But you want to make sure to refinance within 6 months or a year, or make extra payments towards it. Apparently, according to the lender, it's very common for people purchasing it right now in the Phoenix area in the 7-figure range. I don't sell houses in that range, so I had no idea. I'm dealing with the $400,000-$500,000 buyers. So, I'm like, I had no idea. Refinancing is like Master Jedi. You're right.
I wonder if that's to avoid they've raised the jumbo loan product. So
yeah,
I mean, I work with clients that are in that price point a lot. And a lot of times, I'm trying to think, I mean, a lot of times they're putting 20% down and they're trying to get enough to avoid jumbo because the rates are a little bit higher on jumbo. But my thought is, though, on that, let's say the first 5 years are packed with just interest. You can pretty much write off your entire mortgage then, right? The first 5 years.
For that second loan, yeah.
For the second loan, because that's what's getting paid first, correct? Not the first one?
There's two more payments happening. There's the interest and principal for your first loan, and then there's interest only for your second one. So you're writing off a lot of interest.
And there are a couple other things that end up being relevant, right? So obviously taxes may go up, but at least you're mortgage locked.
Yeah, it's
versus rent where they could up it to whatever percentage they felt like.
Yeah,
at any time.
That's what I told this client in particular is like, I've never heard of this, but I talked to the lender and they're like, yeah, no, like 80% of people are doing it right now. So there is a rise of people doing it, but apparently it's always been done that way. I had no idea. Apparently in that price range, people want to hold on to their money rather than put it in a large down payment. So they would rather hold on to it, do something creative like that, and then they can come back and refinance that second mortgage and do something differently. So I don't know.
Is that with an assumption? So I would imagine that two things need to be assumed. One, the equity of the property will increase, and then two, the rate doesn't increase substantially.
Exactly. Yes. So that's the big risk that this person has is like, well, if they don't go up, then you can't refinance. You have to be stuck with it. So be prepared to make extra payments so you can basically tackle them both like two mortgage payments.
All while it's costing more for gas, more for food, more for everything else. So that's going to be a challenge to do. What was that?
Meanwhile, the cost of meth continues to go higher.
I mean, the distribution is just getting more expensive.
We gotta get Walter White back in there.
I know, man. The good old days.
I miss Walter White.
Yeah.
Better Call Saul's coming out next month, though.
That show did not grab me the same.
You didn't watch all of it. That's why you only watched the first 3 episodes.
No, I watched the first 2 seasons, I think, and I'm just.
I love that show much more than Breaking Bad. I don't know.
Really? Just because you said that, just because you're an ianofAustin, I am gonna go watch Better Call Saul. That's going to be my next.
I liked it way more than just because Vince Gilligan is growing and he knows he just did a better job. And the whole dynamic with him and his brother, it's just really interesting. Like you keep thinking, okay, this is the season he turns into Saul Goodman, and it doesn't. And he's like, it's a slow death, a very slow death of his character. And even now, he's not fully Saul because the person in Breaking Bad, he's a terrible person, right?
He is. Yeah, that made it so good.
It really takes us in. What did you call Ian? A micro center? That's not nice.
No.
Now it's just micro center. Oh, jeez, man, your audience is brutal.
It reminds me of Sleeping Jimmy.
Who's Sleeping Jimmy? That's from Better Call Saul. That's what they used to call him because his name's Jimmy McGill.
Oh, gotcha.
It's a good show. We just got Succession. Have you guys watched that?
Fantastic show.
I have not seen it.
Rent is high. That's where Reventure's been. Sounds. I think Master Jedi is Reventure's side account. It's his fin stuff.
That's so funny because I remember we did a video about that a while ago where I was like, how is he saying the market's going to crash in Austin because rental rates have not caught up to where prices are? Like, that's such a lagging indicator. It takes a year for somebody to rent a home, and then a year later before somebody moves, before they rent it again. Typically, that's if they even put it on the market. Let's say you did a deal off market with that person, like my current tenant. They wanted to renew. We said, hey, we're going to have to raise it because taxes went up. So we got to raise it. They said, fine, raise it. We negotiate. So you don't even see those. So such a bad indicator to say the market's going to crash off of rents. And now rents are higher. I wonder if he's put out a video like, oh, I was wrong because I'm a fucking idiot. I mean,
no, he's moves on to the next topic.
Yeah.
And we sit here and hate on him while he's killing it.
I mean, killing it's a relative term. I mean, it's funny because people on his channel, like when I've talked about him, they get so mad. Oh, you're just a realtor. You're just trying to sell something. I'm like, yeah, he's selling products though. He
We're all
literally
selling
sells you a
something.
product. Yeah. So I mean, you get mad at me, but he doesn't make as much off his product. How do you know what I make? Like, how do you know how much? How do you know how much he's making? I mean, probably not enough because he had to move from his rental in Austin to his rental in Dallas, but it's downtown.
Damn, dude. Jeremy Knight's he's a hater supreme.
No, I'm not a hater supreme. But when you tell people that the Austin market's going to crash and you give really bad data, and then when you ask him to, hey, come on my channel and talk about it and won't even acknowledge you, yeah, go screw yourself. All right. Ozark is super good. I didn't get into
I'm here for the drama. That's what I'm here for.
I finished Ozark. All these shows, every Netflix show.
How could you finish Ozark if it hasn't finished yet?
That's it's halfway through or whatever.
There you go.
Halfway.
You passed the test.
Yeah.
I cannot get into the last season of Ozark, and then this season I just could not. Both of them I could not get into. I like dry watched it. Like I'm just like on Facebook getting into arguments about politics while watching. Well, you're watching it, it's on, but I made it up. It's a Jeremyism. But I'm over here on Facebook arguing about politics with people while it was on. So there you go. I hired a new assistant. She's like, why aren't you on Facebook? I'm like, because I spend too much time arguing with people about politics. So I decided just not to be on Facebook at all. Smart, right? Yeah, Dinosaur D, totally agree. I love Reventure. He has convinced me not to buy houses after Aaron's bought what, six or seven houses?
He convinces people not to buy more for me.
Yeah. More for me. Oh yeah. I didn't read
now
the
that
whole
he
thing.
convinced him.
Yeah, that's funny. I mean, like, so I feel like the point that he'd made, or the point that you made earlier, is that you have all these big time firms and investment firms buying up all this property and turning people into renters, and then you have this guy telling people, "Oh, the market's going to crash. Just hold on." At the same point, like he's doing the exact same thing. If you're going to complain about BlackRock buying up all the homes and then tell people that the market's going to crash and don't buy, hold on, just hold on. The market's going to crash. Don't worry. Hey, interest rates are going up. Don't worry about that. The market's going to crash. See, that's why the market's going to crash. But when interest rates continue to go up and if those prices don't come down, you effectively just helped BlackRock buy more homes. Like
check this out. This is from his website. One-on-one coaching. Nick will also train you on becoming self-sufficient real estate, teaches work with you to find the best markets and neighborhoods best suited for your real estate investment goals. While he's scaring away the people, the general first-time home buyers that think the videos are for them, oh gosh, market's going to crash, I'm going to listen to him. You can go hire him to coach you on finding the best cities to invest in. If you truly believe the market's crashing, why are you consulting investors on where to buy properties? The videos are not made for everyday people like first-time home buyers. They're made for people who are, it's nothing wrong with the videos. If you're an investor and you like that data, go for it. But people that get terrified by it is like, dude, make your own. No, like it's not for you. That's for investors. You're not, everybody's a Warren Buffett. Everybody that's made money in real estate the last 10 years have just been incredibly lucky. No one's guessed that it's going to be like, oh yeah, we killed it. I knew exactly. No, it's just, we all have been incredibly lucky. And at the end of the day, like I said, I'm buying a house and I don't know what's going to happen. Market could crash, market cannot crash, but I'm going to be happy when I'm going to own where I live. But the man himself, I don't know. I never met him. He's not a bad guy, I'm assuming. But I have a problem, especially, and I don't mean to bring the race card out, but growing up, in an immigrant neighborhood as an immigrant as well myself, and being told what you can and can't do. When I have someone telling me, especially a white guy telling me what I can and can't do, what I should or shouldn't do, while he's telling other investors to buy in certain areas, I have a problem with that. I just like, no, dude, like, let me stop trying. It's like you're like withholding housing from the general population so you can sell it to your investor buddies. Well, those people have to live somewhere. They're going to rent from those people. That's where I personally have the issue with. And it's not what him himself, but you have to be responsible of the messaging you're putting out there. I have talked to people that are minorities that have been discouraged by his videos. And that's the problem I have with him.
Now, let me ask you, those same people that have been discouraged, have you talked to them and there's been possibility or opportunity for them to purchase where he kind of like made them think there wasn't?
I'm honest with everybody. If I talk to them and I see their budget, I tell them you should not buy. There's been multiple times though where the people are in a great position to buy, and I said, it's up to you. You can make your own decision. Let me show you what kind of house you can buy right now. This is what you can buy. You can actually afford where you live. You can actually own where you live. You have that option. I'm just giving that to you now. I'm not a salesy real estate agent like the Master Knight is. I am not salesy. I'm not pushy at all. I'm just like, this is the information. And I'm just kidding. I know you're not salesy. But that I just give them the information, educate them. Here you go. This is what you can do. Let me know if you're interested. And I'm honest with everybody. But yeah, I've seen people who were in a good position, and I've even seen somebody that did not buy because of not necessarily him, but just because they were so terrified. And now 2 years later, they're trying to buy in the same neighborhood that's worth $200,000 more. It's not going to work out.
Yeah.
And I told them, you're making a mistake. You're making a mistake.
That's the toughest part for me is that, and here's where I got really annoyed. So when I was starting my channel, he would go and take his links from his YouTube channel and be like, oh, I did a video about Austin. Here it is. And it was like how great Austin is, best place to buy. 6 months later, found out that it's really good for clickbait to say the market's crashing. So then he's putting out all this content
himself on your channel. That's crazy.
He used to promote himself on my YouTube channel in the comments. Wow. I went onto his channel and said, dude, stop posting your bullshit on my channel. So this is where, so people want to understand why my beef started. That's where my beef started. I've never gone to anybody's YouTube channel and gone, hey, by the way, if you want to know more about this market, here's my link to my channel. I said, hey, I've never even done that. If somebody's commenting, I stay away from other people's content. So that's what really started pissing me off about him. And then I went to his channel and he posted something as a video with the market, that the market was going to crash in Austin. I said, it's really interesting that you say this because at the same time you posted this video not too long ago, had you purchased, your value of your home would be 50% higher. And he goes, he commented, this is why you don't listen to real estate agents. That's a blatant lie. And then I posted the link of the data stats showing the neighborhoods that were 50% higher. Like, what are you talking about? And then he blocked me from his channel.
He's leading this idea that they're realtors. That's why they're saying that. He said that to you. So that's why his fans say that. Oh, they're realtors are trying to sell you.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then
he's trying to circumvent, right? Like he's trying to basically badmouth realtors so that he can, I don't know if it's to get you to do it on your own, to get his viewership up. It's just frustrating every which way.
I didn't know that.
And just like on your channel, like we've said, even when Kevin was on the channel, Ian, Kevin, and I all said, if you're not in the position to buy, it's not the right time. You have to do what's best for you financially. If you're not in a position to buy, don't buy. Don't stretch yourself because you don't want to be that person that buys a home, can't make it financially, and then all of a sudden you have issues. And that's why on this channel, I have done so much to tell people about property taxes. My second year in real estate, all these people started reaching out to me when their property tax valuations started going crazy. They weren't clients that I had worked with, but from friends reached out to me. My property taxes are going up this amount. We didn't plan for that. I need to sell my house. And I felt like trash selling their house and making money off of them because they couldn't live in their financial situation because they didn't understand from their last agent how property taxes worked. So for all the crap that people want to talk about real estate agents, yeah, you know what? I do pretty well. And why? Is because I'm pretty honest with people. That's why. So there you go.
To your credit, anyway. You never got into the housing market crash trend.
True. I mean, I did talk about the housing market crash. I did make thumbnails with the crash and all that stuff. And I still do that kind of, but in my videos, I'm telling like, these are the issues I'm worried about, but here's what I'm actually seeing. So, and here's what I'm seeing for the future. Anyway, go ahead.
I was going to say the difference though, is that, that you want to share valuable information. We all want to share. The reason why we are doing well as realtors is because we want to share valuable information, but fear, sex, babies, sell, right? So when people see that, they're going to click on it. But then from there, they should get valuable information. And that's the difference, is that they're not getting valuable information from some other places. They're getting skewed data.
Yeah. Amen, brother.
I swore Javier was going to say something way cooler than, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, what is he going to say? Yeah.
An hour is my limit, man. I can't live stream for more than an hour because then I'm like burnt. Real freaking, I can't do these streamers that go 5-6 hours. I can't do that. Oof.
Can we quickly talk about this Parkside for Tommy? He's asked about it.
Yeah.
Like
let's do that, and then we'll end up.
First, let's talk about
Tommy's
EXP
question.
though, guys. EXP.
Let's talk about EXP. I had somebody.
Let's talk about KW. Remax. Join Remax today and get 20% off your next.
Go ahead and buy stock in KW today. Do it. That's a good buy.
Yeah.
Are they public already?
No,
man, they're not public. That was what was so
they're pocket padding. Okay, so let's talk about this. So Parkside, here's my problem with it. This is me saying, I don't know if it's a good deal. Here's why. So for $960,000, you can get a decently sized house, just under 3,000 square foot. Here's where it gets you. The footprint, single story home, the footprint of the home on less than a quarter acre takes up so much of the land. That's a problem. And then it's a really high tax rate at 3%. And then it's a pretty high HOA. And then obviously you have the build price that they tell you, but then they kind of bump it up with, what do you call them? With the changes that you make. And then they bump it up with the lot premiums. So all of those things make me feel like they know what they're doing and they're gouging a little more than they should. That's how I feel about this particular neighborhood right now.
Yep.
That was very thoughtful and analysis of that. Thank you, Ian. So property taxes suck. No yards. I just summed up this whole thing.
And price per square foot. All of it.
Yeah. So Tommy says, thank you. Has REALMigos thought about making an educational video or talk about ways to analyze houses in general? Things to look for, keep your eyes out for, just a thought.
That was my TikTok stuff.
Yeah, it's just TikTok. We'll have to do a video. You know what? Actually, my Tuesday video that's coming out, I've already recorded it, so I can tell you. My Tuesday video is the mistakes that buyers and sellers are making in this market. And they're costly mistakes. And I've seen, and Ian, when you watch the video, you'll be like, oh, yep, seen that 100 times. So there's some mistakes I see buyers do make, and I see some mistakes sellers make. So that'll be a good video. So kind of along those lines, but maybe that'll be a good video. Thank you. All right, everybody. Say goodnight to Javier. He's got to get his blankie and go to
I like the middle name change. It's a good one.
Javier Smug Phantom.
Oh, that's genius, man. That's good.
Hey, man, no, I really appreciate you jumping on. Again, last time we had you on, it was a wonderful time. So anytime you want to come back, man, we appreciate it. And keep rocking the content and helping people.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Good.
So
you guys are doing awesome work. Keep it up. Keep the authenticity going. And okay, Ian, we get it. You have a Tesla. Stop talking about it. Take care.
All right. We'll see everybody.
Hold on. I do have one thing to say about Austin, though. This is pretty serious.
Okay. You should. Oh, that's great.
Oh,
that was good.
Oh, well done. Well done, Javier. All right.